What's good, y'all? And welcome to my review for this week's episode of Tokyo Ghoul Re. I gotta say, this episode was fucking phenomenal. Absolutely phenomenal. One of my personal favorites of the series. Because this episode just shows when Ishida is at its absolute best. You know, when the series starts getting sad and tragic, and Ishida rips your heart out of your chest and crushes it before your very eyes. But it looks like this isn't going to be the start. Like next week, looks like shit's going to go down if you judge it from the preview. So let us begin with this week's episode. So we started off with Kane. He's like grabbing his side. He's like, damn it, I'll kill you one day, Haise. And where he's then met by Eto. Of course, you know, Eto. And she pretty much just, being like, hey, and she's like, and we have Kane talking about, like, who is she? Like, is she human? Is she a ghoul? And, she has, like, oh, you think you're probably wondering what I am, a ghoul or human. And then she goes on some speed, and then she actually, like, uses her Kagane, and, like, kind of, like, first, like, and, like, has them, like, hold up on this wall. Which, I gotta say, her Kagane looks very, I think the design of it looks kind of like, it's probably one of the weird, but it's also one of the weirdest design Kaganes I've ever seen, because, like, we haven't seen a Kagane really designed like Eto's is. So after that, she goes on some spiel about, oh yeah, Skiyama never loved you. You only loved him. Stop being possessive. And, here, have this apple, which is, of course, a reference, making a bunch of religious references to, like, the Garden of Eden, the apple, and all that shit, of course, all that references and such. So then after that, we see Urie. He's kind of, about to just leave the building, like, I don't know, go for a run or something. Where then, you got Shirazu being like, hey, Urie, you can't leave, you can't go on your own. He's like, why would I take orders from someone that doesn't even use their own Kagane? Or, Queen K, I mean. And, and then after when he leaves, he's like, yeah, he has another internal monologue, which I love this man's monologue, where he's like, yeah, if you can't fight, just quit, you moron. Where we then see, Shirazu, he goes down to this park. Just, we got some kids playing baseball over there, where we get a flashback, pretty much explained, like, the girl, Haru, I believe her name was, that Shirazu was talking to a couple episodes back. Where we find out that woman was actually his sister. And we see on how, really, whatever this thing that's on her face is, kind of originates. It was like kind of like this, like, little mole, like, on her eye. She's like, and she was like, oh yeah, it's probably nothing. Let's just go take it down her. And then when we next time see her, it's like this big, long, like, it pretty much looks like a tree. It's like growing on her face or something. It's like those mechs that come out of Takun's head and, like, Fooly Cooly, Which, by the way, I finished Fooly Cooly and Toonami last week. Love that shit. If you guys not seen Fooly Cooly, check it out, it's fucking amazing. Anyway, so, then of course, we find out the main reason, really what drives Shirazu while he was, while he's working on the CCG. It's about, like, Uraraka, which, from Hiroraka, where, from Uraraka's point of view, she wanted to become a hero for the money, so that she can support her family, so they can live the good life and not have to work so hard at this construction at their construction company. Urie's around the same thing, where it's kind of like, he reminds me a lot of Sandman from the Spider-Man universe, where he wants to get more, he wants to keep killing ghouls and get more money so that he can pay for, I'm guessing, his sister's treatment to get that thing off her face. And we also see, we also see her once again in the hospital, where when she's, like, actually alive, where she's, I guess, conscious and she had to talk, because it looks like she's like probably, like, maybe a coma, or she was just sleeping at the time when Urie, Shirazu, when we saw Shirazu talk to her, like, a few episodes back, where she pretty much is like, I want to be pretty, like a princess, blah, 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 that kind of stuff that kind of tugs in her heart. Like I said, this episode represents Shida at his best when, he starts getting tragic, and she's like, mwah, I love it when she does it. Sure, it hurts, but goddamn it, is it awesome? So, anyway. So we see then we have one of the main, Ghoul, one of the other guys that work on the CCG. I believe we saw him a couple episodes back, actually, where Paris talks about, oh yeah, no worries, Shirazu. It's okay that you don't know that you can't use your Queen K. It's a couple things with newbie, having to deal with the guilt of killing a ghoul, and then using its weapon, or its Kagane as your weapon, your Queen K. So he's ready to tell, like, relax, while he's also smoking a cigarette. So then after that, we see Shirazu. He then asks, like, this manager at the CCG, like, hey, can I get a cut? And when I saw it, I was like, what cut? What do you mean by cut? And then we see he got a haircut, and it looks like complete shit, in my personal opinion. Like, he pretty much just, like, shaved his head, mites, that little, like, thing, like, the top of it that had, like, that kind of went, left and right, kind of like a leaf or whatever, kind of like, Junichi from, My First Girlfriend is a Gal. I know the little series of polar opposites, but yeah, it kind of, like that's still there, but his hair's pretty much shaved, like like what is it with anime characters, like anime characters, like shaving, like cutting their hairs when they get old, like that happened with Naruto at the end of Naruto, happened with Ichigo at the end of Bleach, and please tell me if any manga watching it, please tell me she doesn't grow back out his hair, because I'm not a fan of this new shaved look of his. It just doesn't look good to me, in my personal opinion, anyway. So after that, we see that Udi. Then we go back to the CCG. They're pretty much discussing what their next operation is going to be, what their next plan of attack is going to be. And then after that, we then get back to Heise, where he's pretty much everyone's all in their ghoul disguises, like looking around for extra information, guessing on the operation they're about to do at Skiyama's place. Where we see that my boy Kaneki, or I should say Heise, is of course rocking his mask. You got Mutsuki, who's rocking a mask very similar to Kaneki's, and you got Urie, Shirazu. They're rocking the mask, and they pretty much report that Urie says that him and Psycho are telling saying yeah, we need some more time investigating the 6th ward I believe they were at for more information. We then see what Heise did while he was out there grabbing the information, where actually ghouls actually recognize him as the eye patch ghoul, or man Kaneki. So then Heise does some more digging, wondering like who is Kaneki, and what exactly was he? What was he like? Where he found information about Kotaro Amon and finds that he died in Juni during that operation they had with the one-eyed owl at the end of Rude, as well as the end of the manga. Where then Akira comes in, she asks him, and when he's like digging in about this is before stuff with Akira, he starts digging in on information about it. Then he says like one eye, who is Kaneki? Whereas he's like, oh, and then we see Kaneki, he's like against the wall, he's like his feet are up to his his face, and he's like, I killed him, I killed Kotaro Amon, and I'm like what? Because like I said, guys, I'm up to volume 11 of the manga, so I'm not really up to date. So apparently, I guess Kaneki actually killed Kotaro Amon, or maybe something along those lines at the end of the manga. So like I said, I'm only up to volume 11 of the manga. I haven't read the whole 14, the rest of the last 3 volumes thing I have left of Tokyo Ghoul before I finally finish up that series and I can finally begin reading Re. I believe I got like about 4 volumes, or maybe it's 3. Anyway, back to the episode. We then see Skiyama. He pretty much, reassures one of his maids there, be like, oh, don't worry, I'll do everything in my power to get back, what was his name, Yama or something along those lines. And then we get back to Kijima, where we get another suit of torture scene where the man straight up has like a Kagane chainsaw, or it's a Queen K chainsaw. Anyway, he has a fucking chainsaw. And she's like crying and all that shit. Like you can actually see, you can see her mouth is like bandaged up. You can see the blood where her tongue was. Because like I said last week, he cut that thing out. Sick bastard. Which, by the way, in case y'all are wondering about his past, you actually find out about the dude's past and why he hates Ghoul so much, and and what this figure was actually from one of the games, Tokyo Ghoul Jail. It was a visual novel released for the Vita, exclusive to Japan. It never came here to the States. So if you want to know more about him, check that game out, although I don't think there's any translations out, although I think I did find one that actually had the game translated. Anyway, so yeah, he tells like, oh, you're so innocent, you're far too innocent, then pulls out the fucking chainsaw, and then, like, I'm guessing decapitates her, because we don't see the body, all we see is just a pool of blood, and she's like, oh, you're far too innocent, so innocent, and then he leaves this corpse. Where then we get back to the CCG where we see Uri with like the head honcho at the CCG. Like I'm talking like the head honcho. You can tell by the fact that he's very old and wears a traditional Japanese kimono robe. Look, I feel like it's a thing with like anime series. Like if you're very old, you wear a kimono, you are like the head honcho of a business. Like the guy, like the head honcho of Food Wars. That's what was her name's father? Alice's like uncle or something. Alice's uncle, yeah. It seems like that's the thing with them. If you're old and you wear a kimono, you are like the head honcho of your business. Anyway, pretty much tells like Udi, you're in charge of this. You were in charge of the operation to go and wreck shit up at Skiyama's place. Then we see the CCG operative that we saw that was like the guy behind the computer, telling everyone what to do at like the auction house. The guy that definitely seems like he doesn't really like ghouls. He brings I look forward to see what you have to store. Blah 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 blah. Where then after that we then go back to our man Heise, where then he's still digging for information about Kaneki, who he is, the eye patch gold, all that shit. Or then Akira shows up and asks him like well, hey, what are you doing? Where then, he asked him, like, I'm looking up stuff about Kotorama. She's like, oh yeah, he was a colleague of mine. Okay. And then he asked her about Kagane. And he's like, oh, you don't need to know about that. And he's like, why? And then, actually before that, we had this little scene with Skiyama, where where Skiyama meets up with Heise, where Heise asks Skiyama, like, where are you a ghoul, or should I say, where did you know who Kaneki was? And asked him, like, who was he? Can you tell me about him? And since Skiyama does know, he's like, tell me, like, if I tell you, are you prepared to are you prepared for what I'm about to tell you? Because it might change your life. If he's like, yes, I still, or do you not care about your life? Or like, Berman's current life, Heise, like, he's fine if you like, this might end up breaking Heise, and then Kaneki's back in control. And he says, no, I want to keep living this life. I want to keep having Heise, living this dream of, having a family. Which is one of the things that Kaneki has always, this was never really touched in the anime, but this has been touched in the manga, that Kaneki really has always wanted a family. After, of course, all the shit that went down with his parents. Because, there's also one thing I want to talk about is, like, when I saw Chibi's review of last week's episode, he was all talking about, of course, seeing, where, Heise said he doesn't really like Sen Takasaki's works, and, he was shocked because, how depressing they are. I remembered, it really just shows you how radically different Heise is from Kaneki, because when you really compare the two, Heise is living the good life, in all honesty. I mean, yeah, sure, he works for the CCG, and, of course, he is risking his life on the front, let's say, at least school, and any other day he could, die, or, watch one of his friends die. But when you really compare to the shit Kaneki went through, run, from the stuff with Hinami's mother, of course, the torture with Jason, everything Kaneki's right, especially the stuff with, apparently it went down with his parents, because, like I said, no spoilers, but apparently what we know about Kaneki's parents is not the whole truth. I'm not going to elaborate anymore, because I don't want to spoil any of you guys. It really shows you why I always gravitate towards Sen Takasaki's work. It's because he could probably relate to their characters a lot, while Heise probably couldn't, because he's, like I said, he's living the good life of the CCG compared to Kaneki, which is really just like that huge parallel, but huge difference between Heise and Kaneki. Just I love his shit. Like, the man is an excellent writer. And so anyway, back to Arima or Akira. So then, he talks about, why won't you tell me? I want to know who I was. Do you know how scared do you know how frightening it is to not know who you are? He starts crying, and then, she's like, Heise, and she's like, I'm not Heise! Tell him and I was like, yes, say it. Say your name is Kaneki. Bring him back to us. Let him take the wheel again. And then, Akira comes her and she's like, you are you, Heise, the name doesn't matter. Which is probably doing that in a way to make sure that, Kaneki does not, that Heise stays Heise and he doesn't end up becoming Kaneki again, because that happens, he'll probably have to end up being hunted by the CCG, and then probably, Akira doesn't want that. Anyway. So, then we head back to Skiyama. He's chilling in his chair with his father, when his father actually brings him with some coffee. And, Skiyama tells him, oh, thanks, father, your coffee wakes me right up. But then we see him again, he's fast asleep. Apparently, I guess he put it with some sleeping aids. So then he tells Matsumi to take care of him. Well, because actually the CCG are right outside the man's house, and we see Uri. Actually, he's out. He's inside. Tell him he's freeze. They tell him don't worry. I'm not gonna fight. I'm not gonna flee. We are gentlemen here. And then they said we got him. And then Urie, my boy Urie, is like, oh come on, somebody retaliate. I don't want to just come on. Let me get some use in here, because like we said, that man wants his promotion. He wants his promotion. Anyway, after that we see Skiyama. He wakes back up. He's in the car with Matsumi, and he pretty much tells me turn back. We gotta get my dad. He tells me we can't, and then he remembers about the stuff that happened back in season 2, or at least in the end of part 1. Of course, what happened at Onteku when everyone left, and where Yoshimoto had everyone leave minus him and those 2 other guys, the Devil Ape and what's her name, to stay behind to take down the CCG, or at least do it to the best of their abilities. We then see him, he's with, he gets this build where a bunch of, his other family members are at, or close friends of his are, where they're like, oh yeah, blah, 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 hey. And then we see, Haidu, I believe is how you pronounce her name, the pink hair girl. She says, begin extermination, just so casually, like it's nothing. And then we, at the end of the episode, we see this little part where we have Eto with Kare, and the man, his face, like, is like almost like stitched up. It reminded me of that one trap in the sub, I believe it was Saw 6 I was, where the one where like one person has their mouth closed, one person has their eye closed, and that it reminded me a lot of that one, and that's where the episode ends. So yeah, overall, fucking love this episode. This episode is definitely one of my personal favorites. Like I said, this episode really shows you like when we see a sheet as best, with the tragic stuff when the series starts getting sad, because it looks like next week is shit's about to go down next gen for the preview. So yeah. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. So overall, I give this episode, of course, a 10 out of 10. Also, guys, I actually have a new My Hero Academia discussion video out for you guys. Well, it's not really out. Episode 9 about hero licenses, how they're deployed short. You probably will see that video for like at least for about a month, because I upload the video, but the video, of course, got claimed by Toho for me using dub footage of My Hero Academia, and I'm currently in the files being disputed right now. So unless they Toho acts on it, the video will be back up in 30 days. So you'll probably wait a while for that video. I'm just telling you right now that, but I think the video's pretty good, and I feel like you guys are gonna enjoy it, because I talk about X-Men, Marvel, DC. I think you guys, if you're guys a fan of My Hero Academia, you'll probably enjoy the video. So yeah, so hope you guys enjoyed the video. Leave a like if you did, subscribe if you're new, follow me. Oh, and also guys, my top 10 most anticipated games list, I have the audio record for that video. I just need to get the footage together, and it'll be up by the end, like I said, by the time E3 begins, it'll be up. So I'm keeping my promise there. So hope you guys enjoyed the video. Leave a like if you did, subscribe if you're new, follow me on Instagram, Twitter, click those links below, and as always, come back for more. See you guys next time.